Hey guys, it's Sam, and this is my spoiler-free review of First and Then by Emma Mills. I requested this book for review from Henry Holt. This book is set to be released on October 13th. So First and Then is a YA contemporary that's said to be a mix between Pride and Prejudice and Friday Night Lights. While this does have some elements of Pride and Prejudice in it, it is not a direct retelling. So if you're looking for an exact retelling, a modern alternate universe of Pride and Prejudice, that's not what you're going to get with this. The characters in here are not Lizzie and Darcy. Our main character's name is Devon, and our Darcy is Ezra. Devon does not come from a poor family. Her parents are not trying to marry her off or anything. They are not boy crazy, and she does not have any sisters. In fact, she was an only child until they end up starting to foster her cousin, whose name also happens to be Foster. So the sibling dynamic is explored more through them and not through any kind of sisterly bond. Ezra is a lot like Darcy in a lot of ways, but we aren't exploring differences in class or anything like we do with Lizzie and Darcy. We're exploring differences kind of in popularity and stuff through football and through the popularity of football and stuff like that. So that is kind of the differences there. Where Darcy is an asshole through a lot of the book, readers warm up to Ezra a lot sooner because although he is at first very kind of stuck up, you think he has elements of you kind of seeing more of his true side sooner rather than later. Also, we don't have characters like Wickham or anything else. We have different characters that kind of fill those roles of like Wickham and Fitz and stuff like that. But ultimately, you still get a Pride and Prejudice feel. Ezra is very proud, and Devon has a lot of prejudice against people, and you see their character development throughout the story, and their characters changing, and the kind of banter between them, and the kind of hate-to-love relationship, and that element of Pride and Prejudice is the same. So as far as the characters, I still enjoy every single variation of Lizzie and Darcy. Every single variation of Lizzie and Darcy makes me weak, and this is true for this as well. I just love them inherently. I didn't think I was going to at first. I was a little skeptical when I noticed that it wasn't an exact interpretation, but I absolutely loved the differences there, and I liked that it was a different story. I didn't know exactly what to expect. There were still some elements that if you have read Pride and Prejudice, you will recognize, like, oh, this is kind of a replacement for this event, stuff like that. But again, it's not a direct retelling, so we aren't getting exact events replicated in modern times or anything, and I actually really enjoyed that because it made the story more fresh for me. I also really enjoyed a lot of the other characters that were introduced that are different from Pride and Prejudice characters, so I really enjoyed the sibling dynamic between Devon and Foster. That is a main element of the story, so if you really like contemporaries with family dynamics in there and sibling dynamics, I think you're really going to enjoy this. Also, a lot of the other side characters are genuinely likable, and I just really enjoy the different variations we got in the story and the different spin that we had with this. As far as the plot, I also thought that that was cute. It clipped along at a fairly good pace because this is a shorter book, and there were some parts that were like a little, you know, contemporary where you're like, really? Is that how that would happen? But overall, I thought it was a fairly realistic story, and I really enjoyed the Friday Night Lights kind of elements. I'm not a big football fan, admittedly, but it wasn't over the top for me, and I just kind of like those like football town stories for some reason, even though I'm not a football fan myself. I just really kind of enjoy those different like elements and that kind of atmosphere, and so I really enjoyed this. Again, this was cute, it was the perfect pace, and the relationship, since this is kind of a Pride and Prejudice retelling and you're kind of focusing on the Lizzie-Darcy relationship, that developed at a nice pace, and it was just tug at your heartstrings. If you like that kind of Pride and Prejudice feel in your stories and you kind of want a different version of that with not an exact retelling, I think you'll really enjoy this. And even if you don't like Pride and Prejudice, this is different enough from Pride and Prejudice that I think you could still really enjoy it. I think it's a cute read, and I highly recommend it. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. So comment down below and let me know if you have any other Pride and Prejudice retellings that you really enjoy. Like I said, Pride and Prejudice in general just makes me weak. I just love it. I love every single version of Pride and Prejudice. I love the 2005 movie. I love the Lizzie Bennet Diaries because I'm watching it for the 3rd time. I just love it. So comment down below, let me know if you have any other recommendations for Pride and Prejudice retellings that I should check out. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!